Most people think war starts when bombs fall. It doesn't. War starts much earlier than that, at the exact moment your emotions stop being yours. Not by accident, but through propaganda, manufactured outrage, and media narratives designed to secure public buy in for decisions driven by elite political and financial interests that rarely align with the people who suffer most. If we can all resist propaganda better and not buy into war narratives, we can prevent wars from happening and save lives as elites see they need to try more peaceful alternatives. The ability to resist propaganda can save lives and even save the world. And Studio Ghibli films give us great lessons on spotting propaganda and resisting it. By the end of this video, you'll be able to tell when propaganda is happening and how to step out of it before fear, outrage, or righteousness make decisions for you. Not by disengaging, not by becoming numb, but by doing something much quieter and much harder. There's a connection between three very different Ghibli films: Porco Rosso, Grave of the Fireflies, Princess Mononoke. One is about a pilot who refuses to fight. One is about children who suffer after the fighting is already justified. And one refuses to tell you who the villain is at all. Together, they reveal something uncomfortable. War doesn't need your body first. It needs your emotional consent. In Porco Rosso, Porco doesn't give speeches about peace. He doesn't argue politics. He doesn't try to convince anyone. He simply refuses to rejoin the machine. Not because he's naive, not because he doesn't understand the stakes, but because he understands something deeper. Once your identity, pride, and fear are recruited, the war is already halfway won. Porco's resistance isn't loud, it's a boundary. Grave of the Fireflies shows us what that boundary is protecting. By the time we meet Seita and Setsuko, the war has already been explained, justified, and normalized. The language that made it feel necessary is gone. All that remains is the cost. No slogans, no glory, just children trying to survive decisions they never agreed to. This is what propaganda always hides. The people who pay are rarely the ones who were persuaded. And then Princess Mononoke does something even more dangerous. It refuses to simplify. No side is purely evil. No side is innocent. Everyone believes they are acting out of necessity. And that's exactly how large-scale violence sustains itself. Not through monsters, but through certainty. The moment complexity disappears, moral resistance becomes difficult. So here's the parts most people miss. You don't get emotionally drafted because you're weak. You get drafted because the propaganda system is efficient, which means you need a way to notice it happening. Here's the method. First sign, urgency. If a message demands that you feel afraid, angry, or righteous right now, before you've had time to think, your emotions are being rushed on purpose. Porco never rushes. That's not laziness, that's defense. Second sign, simplification. If a story turns human beings into symbols, heroes, villains, animals, abstractions, you are no longer being asked to understand. You're being asked to comply. This is where Princess Mononoke quietly saves you. It trains you to hold tension without resolution. Third sign, disappearing civilians. If the framing rarely returns to children, families, or ordinary people. If suffering becomes abstract or collateral, you are watching empathy being strategically removed. Grave of the Fireflies exists so you never forget this step. When all three signs appear together in media narratives, something important is happening. Your emotions are being positioned, and here's the part no one tells you. You're allowed to refuse. Refusal is not apathy. Refusal is not moral failure. Refusal is choosing not to let your care be weaponized. Porco doesn't stop caring about people. He stops caring about narratives that demand his soul in exchange for belonging. So tonight, you don't need a take. You don't need certainty. You don't need to win an argument. You can do something much more powerful. Slow down, let complexity exist. Keep civilians, especially children, at the center of your imagination. That alone breaks the spell. Porco once said,
I'd rather be a pig than a fascist.
It sounds like a joke, but it isn't. It's a refusal to let fear, pride, or outrage decide who he becomes. And sometimes the most human thing you can do is keep your emotions out of a war you never chose. If you like Ghibli Life Lessons, be sure to click the subscribe button and check out some of our other videos. Thanks.